Hi, this is our final project, and it is a beginner investment buddy.
Okay, so let's run through who we are. Firstly, my name's Farhaan. I'm a junior in the MSB majoring in finance and OPAN, and I'm from Mumbai, India.
And my name is Sarab. I'm also a junior in the MSB studying finance and math, and I'm from New Jersey.
So on the agenda for today, we're going to describe the data source. We're going to run over a few application features and have a data flow diagram for illustration. We're going to give you a live demonstration, as well as have a few reflections on our process. So firstly, for the data source, we chose the AlphaVantage API because our project required a robust finance API to support the development of an investment simulation. We looked at other alternatives such as Yahoo Finance and IEX Cloud, but due to other reasons, we did not choose them. We were familiar with AlphaVantage and we thought that this could be the correct choices. There were a lot of company metrics, and we thought this project was limitless. A few reasons why we chose AlphaVantage again. It covers US equities, covers international equities. It has non-stock users such as news, as well as it's free, whereas Yahoo Finance and IEX do not have some of these features. There's over 200,000 tickers covered, as well as 60 individual technical indicators for each stock, making this ideal for our project. Now, a few application features. Our application is an investment simulation, which means it allows the user to input two stocks and then choose their investment style. Our project then caters the investment recommendation to the user's investment style. Some reasons for making this project. We were staggered to learn that about 30% of people in the world are considered financially literate, which we thought was really low. And even though there's about 51% participation in the stock market, that's actually indirect because only 17% is direct. We thought that it was really expensive and really time consuming to actually choose stocks ourselves, which is why we wanted a quicker option and a cheaper option, which our model can do for free and in about 10 seconds.
And lastly, to just recap the key features of our application. So it's an investment buddy, especially made for people who are new to the stock market, and they can input any two stocks from any country and with any market cap. And this kind of shows how it caters to a very wide audience. In terms of analysis, the user can pick from five different investment styles or goals, which are value, growth, income generation, and then high or low risk. And our product will cater to the specific goal and give them a relevant recommendation. And then along with this output, it'll also output a table which compares many key metrics of both stocks and will give a stacked growth chart showing the growth of share prices both for both stocks in one graph. And then the last part is that if the user wants an email report recapping everything that went on during the code, they can do so at the end. And just to add on, here is a data flow diagram of start to finish how we thought about the logic for this project. So moving on to a live demo, here is our code in Google Colab. We've also added the links to the API documentation and also how to obtain a free API key for AlphaVantage. Here are our setup cells, which for the sake of time, we've already ran in advance. And then the first step is for the user to select two stocks that they want to compare. So we'll start by choosing Microsoft as our first ticker, which is MSFT, and then just to let you guys know that if in case you accidentally mistype a ticker or input something that isn't a ticker, it will tell you that it is an invalid ticker, and then you can go again. So for our second one, we'll pick Meta. And so then once you've done it, it'll tell you that you've successfully selected both of the stocks, and you can move on to the next part.
Moving on to the analysis, we then have a few custom functions that actually fetches data from AlphaVantage, the relevant data that we thought was relevant, and it also outputs the kind of the analysis to the user. So what is this output? If we run these two cells, you can see that it outputs firstly a data table which compares both the stocks, the company names, and a few key financial metrics such as EBITDA, PE ratio, dividend yield, etc. And then it also outputs this really cool data chart, a chart which compares the value of $1 invested in both of these stocks at the beginning and what that dollar would be worth now. And that's kind of a more visual representation of the stock price growth. Moving on to the output report. Let's say we want to wear the hat of a growth investor. We run the cell, and the code automatically caters the investment recommendation to my investment style. So it says Meta is recommended because of its higher quarterly earnings growth compared to Microsoft. Let's say I wanted to change this and I want to be a low risk investor. I could change that, run the cell again, and then my code would change the output to Microsoft because it has a lower beta, which is an indication of risk. So it can cater the output to the user.
And lastly, if the user would like to get a recap of everything that went on during this code, they would run this last cell and it would ask for their email address. So I will put mine in right now, hit enter, and it'll take a couple seconds and then it will tell you if and when the email was successfully sent. So then I will go to my email and in just a second, it should show up. There it is. So, like I said, it's a summary of everything that the output gave you during while you were running the code. So it tells you all the recommendations, and then you can also download the two data visualization charts that it had outputted. So here is the data frame, and here is the chart. So you can take a closer look at those two things. Now to move back onto a reflection of what we learned from this project, we'd say the hardest part was working with API data and email integration. Those things gave us a bit of trouble at first, but after a little bit of time, we were able to get the hang of it. In terms of what we prioritized, we wanted the code to be, simple and function well while having straightforward logic. But making it easy for the user to go through all the parts. In terms of learning, we learned many things such as API parsing, chart exportation, and also secure email automation. Things that went well include our charts, our formatting, and using a useful data source like AlphaVantage. And the last step would be adding, additional more complex info to the report and also handling any potential errors that might arise.
And we want to attribute a lot of this code to Professor Rossetti, especially the chart which compares the growths. This wouldn't be possible without his code, as well as a few sources that we've used in the presentation.
Yes. So thank you very much. And this was our presentation.
Thank you.